Thanks for taking the time to download the Inside the Jungle Football Daily podcast. To send along your feedback about this show, send your emails to insidethejungle@spnt.tv.
Hey, what's happening, Bengals fans? It's Inside the Jungle postgame. Hey, your Bengals are 4-0. How does that sound? We'll talk about what happened today against the Chiefs. We'll take your phone calls, and we'll get your game balls. That's all coming up here on Inside the Jungle postgame. Get in touch, Bengals fans.
This is Inside the Jungle postgame with Nick Seuberling.
Hey, how does 4-0 sound, Bengals fans? I know it sounds good to me. What a day to be a Cincinnati Bengals fan as they knock off the Kansas City Chiefs 36-21. That is your final score. Glad you could join us here at cincyjungle.com. I am Nick Seuberling. Let's open up those phone lines. If you want to get in touch, Bengals fans, of course you know the number. Of course, it would help if I had the music ready to go. 513-657-2807 is the number to call. We've got 6 lines open for you. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us outside of the country, you can via Skype as well. Let's go to the Skype line and welcome in Fatal Content. Fatal, what's up, man?
Whole freaking day, man. What's our record again, man?
4-0.
Oh, man, it sounds amazing. Exactly where I had us. I'm loving the way these guys look. I guess if I had to nitpick, I'll say that we gave up too many pass yards, but they were a little empty, I guess, based on the kicker having to score seven field goals. So, oh, man, all in all, man, we have a plethora of weapons. Even your boy Brandon Tate got in. That shows you the plethora of weapons right there, man, when Brandon Tate gets a touchdown. Jeez. Man.
He had a pretty touchdown, man. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. The red rifle definitely looking like the rifle now, man. He's stepping into those throws. And I don't know about you, but when I watched the games back maybe 2 years ago or maybe a year ago, every time Don would drop back when it was a 10-point game, a 7-point game, I get nervous because I'm like, okay, is the turnover coming? Is it not coming? But this year, when he's dropping back, I have full confidence. I don't even think he's going to throw an interception. I know he will, but it just feels different this year.
It does feel a lot different. He was fantastic today, 17 of 24 for 321 yards. And, again, that one touchdown pass going to Brandon Tate, who, by the way, had one catch for 55 yards and was spectacular. I know you mentioned, Fatal, that you didn't like the passing yards that they gave up. They gave up 386 passing yards to Alex Smith. He was 31 of 45. But, again, they couldn't get in the end zone.
Yeah, and that's what's important. It is a high volume of yards, like we just said, but they let them get in the end zone. It's the perfect definition of bend but don't break. We bent a lot, but we can break. And with the injuries that we had at DB for a few times in the game, that was pretty impressive.
To not give up any touchdowns on the game, it's been a while. I guess if you go back to the Cleveland game, they shut them out a year ago. But to hold Cairo Santos to 7 field goals and you still, put 36 points up on the board, I just really like the way this team's playing. I know, you don't like the yards that they gave up, but they kept them out of the end zone. And when we're scoring touchdowns to their field goals, you'll take that all day.
Yeah, you will, especially when our offense is thriving. And it seems like Gio and Jeremy Hill may be getting a little bit of traction under their wheels now. Now they're feeling a lot better, especially Hill. 3 touchdowns. He's got to be feeling a little mojo going into the rest of the games. But, man, that passing game, teams are going to key in on that. I think Jeremy Hill and the running game is going to have a lot of openings now.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. Hey, appreciate the call, Fatal.
Hey, no doubt, man. Hey, I guess I was a year early on Dolphin for MVP, man, but I'll stick to it this year. Dolphin for MVP, brother.
I love it, man. I love it. I hope you're right, dude.
All right, man. Who dey?
That's Fatal Content getting us started here on Inside the Jungle. If you want to get in touch, that number 513-657-2807. Or if you want, you can also get in touch with us via Skype as well. Let's go to area code 937. Hi, who's this? 937, can you hear me? I got nothing from 937. Nothing from 937. Okay, let's see if we can get somebody else here. Area code 443, you're on
Hello.
the air. 443, can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing? Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Keenan from Maryland.
Hey, Keenan, what's happening?
I've been a stranger, man. It's been a little busy, but I'm back on it.
What's
back
on
the
your
Inside the Jungle tip?
What's on your mind today? Big win today for the Bengals, right?
Andy Dalton MVP. That's on my mind.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, we want him to be MVP. Well, but I think he could. But the only thing I would, the only gripe I would have is defense. But everything else, Andy Dalton, this looks like the best I've ever seen him play.
We have got a really nice stretch of 4 games in a row with good Andy, and I'm so glad we haven't had to talk about bad Andy, and let's hope we don't have to this year, Keenan. But you're right. This is probably the best 4-game stretch I've ever seen him play. He looks completely confident in this offense. He knows what to do pre-snap, and this is fantastic. I don't know if I've seen this good of quarterback play really probably in 10 years.
Yeah. But we got Seattle next week at home. I think that's going to be 5-0.
Really?
But if they play the same, you're hearing it from me first. 5-0. All right.
I like it, kid. I like your confidence, man.
Yeah, I do. All right, man.
Who dey?
That's
Keenan from Maryland giving us a ring here tonight on Inside the Jungle. Again, if you want to get in touch, we've got 6 phone lines available. 513-657-2807 is the number to call. Let's go to area code 682. Hi, who's this?
Hey, it's Reggie from Dallas.
Hey, Reggie, what's happening?
What's up? Just excited over this 4-0 win, man.
As you should be.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Andy Dalton, man, he's just a different person this year. And, I mean, it's probably real dumb, but if you look closely to what he is wearing, I feel like this makes a huge difference. That black ring he used to wear is now white.
Okay.
And also, he's rocking the one long sleeve on the left arm and then the short sleeve on the right, rocking the RG3 look. And he's just swinging the rock now. So hopefully that's what's making him just a little bit more confident. He knows it looks good, and he's just feeling good. So that's my input.
I mean, he's playing the best football of his career right now, and he's playing super confident, and he's feeling really good when after a first down run there in the fourth quarter, he slides head first, he gets up, and he does a little first down dance. We've never seen that from Andy Dalton, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, he's got composure, and even my friends here in Dallas, they're all Cowboys fans. They're complimenting the Bengals. They're like, honestly, the Bengals are playoff contenders. Just the way they're playing at this high volume, our offense is just destroying, just driving down the field. They're like, honestly, I can see them getting a first-round bye, or they're for sure winning the division. So just getting praise from all these Dallas fans is actually it's nice to hear for once,
It's a blessing and a curse all at the same time, because you just have, as a Bengals fan, you just have that feeling at some point once everybody starts talking nice about the Bengals, and then we fall on our face. And I hope that that's not the case this time. I really do, because they've got 2 really big games coming up. They've got Seattle at home next week, then they got to go on the road to Buffalo, who took one on the chin today from the Giants. Surprisingly, that game was at home too in Buffalo. So I'm not sure what to make of the Buffalo Bills. Early on they look like that maybe they could be a real contender, but they've kind of come back down to earth. But we'll find out what Seattle is made of. I think they play on Monday Night Football, and they will not have Marshawn Lynch. I just saw that today on ESPN that he's not going to play. So yeah, who knows? You never know.
Just on to Seattle,
That's right.
All right, man. Great show. Glad we got the win today. Hopefully make it 5-0 next week.
I hope you're right, man. Hey, thanks for calling, Reggie.
No problem. Who day?
That's Reggie in Dallas giving us a ring here on Inside the Jungle. We've got plenty of phone lines open, folks. If you're watching us live here at cincyjungle.com, 513-657-2807 is the number to call. Of course, if you're outside of the country, Skype us as well. Inside the Jungle is the Skype account. Let's look over some of these stats from today's game. Andy Dalton, again, 17 of 24. 321 yards passing. He did have the 1 touchdown pass. More importantly, no interceptions, no fumbles. Good job by Andy Dalton today. Leading rusher for your Bengals, Giovanni Bernard, 13 carries for 62 yards. He did have the 1 touchdown. Jeremy Hill, Didn't have as many carries as Bernard. He did have 9 carries on the day for 40 yards, but he did have 3 touchdown runs today. So that's a nice way for Jeremy Hill to bounce back after a rough couple of weeks for him. Your leading receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, Mohamed Sanu, with 4 catches for 84 yards on the day. A.J. Green, another big day from him, 7 catches for 82. Tyler Eifert had 3 for 69. My boy, Brandon Tate with the catch of the day. A diving, laid-out catch for 55 yards. He didn't get touched. He gets up, he rolls into the end zone, and that was Andy Dalton's only touchdown pass of the day, and it was of the spectacular variety. Brandon Tate doing things, folks. I've been screaming it since April. Okay, maybe not. But I still think I'm glad he picked the Bengals over the Chiefs in free agency. I know Bengals fans today would agree with me on that statement too. Marvin Jones did not have the best day. He had 1 catch for 4 yards, and he probably should have had a pretty deep touchdown catch himself, but he dropped it, and that's what happened on the very next play. Brandon Tate scored the touchdown pass. So Marvin Jones didn't have a lot of targets today. He only had 2 targets, but he did have the 1 catch for 4 yards. And even Rex Burkhead got in on the show. He did have a 27-yard catch today in the game. Looking over some of these Chiefs stats, I mean, they racked up the yards. And if it weren't for their kicker, this game would be obviously a shutout. Alex Smith, 31 of 45 for 386 yards passing. Keep in mind, Adam Jones went out with an injury. Drake Kirkpatrick left the game for a little bit as well due to an injury. Yet Sean Williams playing a lot of safety. Leon Hall was playing a lot of snaps today. So this wasn't the Bengals defense at their fullest strength. Darquez Denard got in there and got some snaps as well. Jamal Charles, 11 carries for 75 yards. That's a pretty decent day from him. Charkandrick West, 5 runs for 17 yards. D'Anthony Thomas had the 1 big loss on the reverse. Nice job by Wallace Gilbert reading that. He only had 2 runs, 2 carries for -4 yards. On the day, though, Jeremy Maclin, I mean, he showed why he's one of the better receivers in the league today, folks. 11 catches for 148 yards. But again, no touchdowns. Jamal Charles had 70 yards receiving on 6 catches as well. So he had 140 yards to himself. And just for Jamal Charles, big day from him. But again, you can rack up all the yards you want. But if you're not putting the ball in the end zone and you're trading field goals for touchdowns, you can't win ball games that way. So again, Jamal Charles, 6 catches for 70 yards. Travis Kelce returning to Cincinnati after spending 4 years at the University of Cincinnati, 5 catches for 49 yards for him as well. So from a offensive standpoint, Kansas City was on point. They had a fantastic day offensively. They just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And once they got into the red zone, they stalled, settling for 7 Cairo Santos field goals today. So if you had him on your fantasy team, you got some pretty good fantasy points from him. Leading tackler for the Bengals, Vincent Ray. He had 15 total tackles, 10 of the solo variety. He was all over the place today. Reggie Nelson, another big day for this Bengals defense. He had 10 tackles for 6 solo tackles as well. Of course, Ray Maluga had 8, Denard at 6. Sean Williams got in there with 6 as well. So good day defensively from the sense that they didn't give up touchdowns. They only gave up field goals, and you'll take that in today's NFL. Thankfully, the Bengals offense was able to put touchdowns on the board rather than just settle for field goals. But again, the Bengals win 36-21 and are now 4-0 on the season. And through the quarter point, now lead the AFC North by 2 games, with the Steelers losing on Thursday Night Football to the Baltimore Ravens in overtime, which is even more better if you're a Bengals fan. All right, so Bengals fans, if you're watching live here at CincyJungle.com, I want to know who your game ball goes to. Get in touch. 513-657-2807. We've got 6 lines open. Of course, get in touch with us on Skype as well, Inside the Jungle. I want to hear from you. If you're watching us and you're watching the game today, I want to hear where you're calling from. I want to know where Bengals fans around the world are checking us out. Barbara in the chat room says, Pecco has looked good the last 2 games. He has. He had a couple of good plays today. Nice job by Pecco, and I really enjoyed his sack or tackle for loss dance, however you want to call it. He had 2 tackles for loss today. Those were his only, according to the stats here on ESPN, those were his only 2 tackles on the day. So at least they were good. At least they were tackles for loss. From a quarterback hit standpoint, Michael Johnson had 3 quarterback hits. Pat Sims had a quarterback hit. Geno Atkins had 2. Pecco had 2. Dunlap had 2. I mean, they were in Alex Smith's face pretty much all day. They did a really nice job defensively. Take a look at some of these other stats here, some of the team stats. First downs, Kansas City had 24 compared to the Bengals 18. Third down efficiency, 7 of 16 for Kansas City. The Bengals were 6 of 10. 60% is pretty good for the Bengals. Kansas City, though, ran 73 plays to hour 50. And even more crazy is the time of possession was just heavily in favor of Kansas City. 36 minutes to hour 23. So good stuff from the stat standpoint and a good Bengals win. Again, that number 513-657-2807 is the number to call. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's see here. Area code 513. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is James from Cincinnati.
Hey, what's up, James? How you doing, man?
I'm all right. That game, I'm having a hard time thinking of a time where I've seen worse officiating.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I feel like the officials kind of won the game. It seemed like they were affecting the play on the field more than the players half the time.
Yeah. Bengals were penalized today 11 times for 84 yards, James. That's not good.
Yeah, and I would say most of the up in the air calls went against the Bengals, but I wouldn't call that a fumble with Kelsey either. So it's not like they were really favoring one team or another. They're just kind of incompetent.
Yeah, when I first saw the replay, I couldn't really tell if it was a fumble or not. I didn't see where he had possession of the ball when his elbow hit. And at that point, you've got to have conclusive evidence to overturn what was the call on the field. The important play, or the important factor on that play, was the call on the field was a fumble recovery. If they would have ruled that incomplete or down by contact, then that would have been the call. That was what would have happened. But because they ruled it a fumble on the field, I mean, they had to stick with it. So I mean, that's the unfortunate part about the replay rule.
Yeah, I thought I understood the whole what makes a catch and what doesn't until this game too. Like I kind of understand what the logic is for Eifert's catch not being a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
But now they're saying like if the receiver has 2 feet down before the defender touches him, then none of those rules matter. Like how are you going to call that when the game's actually happening? Who can see that?
I totally don't know. I for the life of me cannot understand the rules in the league regarding catches. I mean, I thought I understood them too, but after today and after seeing the replay challenge by Marvin with I can't remember who it was. I think it was Macklin that dropped it out of bounds. I just don't know. I just don't understand. And the more I try to wrap my head around it, Dave or James, I just get my head starts to hurt. So
I mean, I'd say on average, I watch 4 or 5 different games a week, and I like to think that I know what I'm looking at, but that rule is just so utterly bizarre and overcomplicated and overly simplistic at the same time. I don't even know how to say it, but it's just an awful, awful, awful rule, and it needs to change immediately.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I totally agree.
But hey, they're 4-0, and that hasn't happened since 2005. I think I was a freshman in college, so I'm happy to see that.
That's awesome. Yeah, 2005 was a good year for Bengals fans, right? Let's hope it continues.
Well, about 99% of it was a good year, yeah.
That's right. Good point. Let's not bring that up,
All
right?
Well, I'm going to let you go. Have a good one.
Appreciate the call, James.
Sure. Bye.
That's James from Cincy giving us a ring. Let's go to, let's see here, area code 808. You're on the air. Hi, who's this?
This is Sue and Larry from Oahu, Hawaii.
Hi, Sue and Larry. How are you?
We are very long Bengal fans.
Who day? Now, is this Sue and Larry Rolson?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Hey, Larry, it's good to hear from you, buddy.
He's doing much better. We appreciated the shirt you guys wrote your names on and sent to him.
No problem. We were happy to do that. That's fantastic.
And hopefully we understand somebody's supposed to be at the Phoenix game, which will be the Rolson family reunion game this year.
Awesome. Yeah, I think Anthony has talked about. I could be wrong. I think Anthony talked about maybe going to that game. So I don't know. I'll have to confirm that. But that's fantastic. So all the Rolsons are going to be out in Arizona.
We're going to have out of 6 brothers, 4 of the brothers, but we're going to have our kids and grandkids.
Oh, even better. That's spectacular.
So, and we enjoy the game. We enjoy listening. Every Wednesday he listens to you.
Yeah, good too.
And he uses football to learn how to get his speech better.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're really happy to hear. We're really happy to hear from you, Larry. We wish you all the best, and we continue to think about you each and every week when we do the show, Larry. We're glad that you're enjoying it and living life out in Hawaii. I wish I was in Hawaii, Sue and Larry.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
okay,
Larry.
Well, we'll say mahalo.
Mahalo.
And let's go on.
Awesome. Thanks for the call, Sue and Larry. Hooday.
Bye.
That's fantastic.
Bye.
Fantastic. So glad to hear from Larry. It's been a really long time since we've heard from Larry. Larry used to call in regularly, and so happy to hear that he's doing well out in Hawaii, and his speech continues to get better and better. And a couple, I guess it was back at the draft, Anthony and Mickey and Scott, we each signed an Inside the Jungle t-shirt and sent it out to Larry for his birthday. So that's pretty awesome. Glad to hear from Larry. Sue and Larry out in Oahu, Hawaii. Fantastic. Let's see here. Area code 513. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Ben from Cincinnati.
Hey, Ben, what's happening?
Enjoying the ride, man.
It's been a good start to the season, hasn't it? 4-0, and it's a good 4-0 too. It's not like they've kind of lucked into some wins. I mean, they've won these 4 games in dominant fashion.
And this offense it might be better than 05.
After 4 games, it's hard to argue, right? I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, man, they're clicking. I'd like to talk about that play you were talking about earlier again with the Brandon Tate catch.
I want to talk about Brandon Tate, Ben.
First of all, who thinks he makes that catch?
Right.
Brandon Tate doesn't do that. But then the throw, that was an Aaron Rodgers play.
I see. I agree. I see what you're saying. He was rolling out exactly
on the run, throws the deep ball, and it's that's a play the best quarterback in the league makes.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Dalton made it.
Well, you could argue that he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league so far here through 4 games, right, Ben?
Yeah, I mean it's fun, man. Hooday.
I mean, and look, you look at his numbers today, and they weren't spectacular. I mean, he only had the 1 touchdown pass, but he still threw for 300 yards, and he completed, 66% of his passes? 17 of 24? Actually, that's about right. I mean, that's a pretty good day.
The deep drop to Marvin Jones. And
yep.
I mean, Andy Dalton is on fire this year. This is fun to watch.
The good news is with him, he's got so many weapons to distribute the ball to. I mean, if I'm on an opposing defense, I don't know who you cover. Because, you want to take away A.J. Green? Fine, go do that. We'll beat you with Tyler Eifert. Oh, you're going to take him away now? Oh, we'll go hit you with Mohamed Sanu. And, oh, by the way, we still have Marvin Jones. We'll beat you with Brandon Tate. I mean, the running game, though, they're not breaking off large chunks. They're getting the job done. They ran for over 100 yards today between the 2 backs. I mean, who do you stop on this offense? I really don't know.
Yeah, it is a great time to be a Bengals fan.
Absolutely. Awesome, Ben. Well, hey,
man.
Appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in, and don't be a stranger.
Yep.
That's Ben from Cincinnati giving us a ring. We've got 6 lines open, Bengals fans. 4 up, the old number. 513-657-2807 is the number to call, of course. If you're outside of the country as well, get in touch with us via Skype as well. If you're here in the chat room, want to know who your game balls go to this week? Keith Maurer in the chat room says, I am going to the game next week. Awesome, Keith. And have fun. That's going to be a good one against the Seahawks at home. We should start doing something with the show for fans who come from out of town and go to the games. We need to do some shout outs or highlights of that. Maybe get some pictures as well to post on all of our episodes. We got to figure out something to do with that. I think that'd be a pretty cool feature. Let's see here. Shiv in the chat room says, how come nobody's talking about our defensive front 4? I thought they were spectacular today. Atkins was getting pressure, so was Dunlap. Michael Johnson had a field day. No, they didn't have a whole lot of sacks. I mean, I guess they did have quite a bit of sacks. Let me pull up the numbers here. ESPN's website's kind of a joke here. Looking at the Of course, they don't have sacks listed. All right. Oh, there it is. 5 sacks for 38 yards. Alex Smith was sacked 5 times. That's actually pretty good. That's better than I realized. Of course, Andy Dalton, no sacks today. Good for him. Let's see here. Neil Townsend says, Bodine looked bad. Rest of the line was awesome. Yeah, Bodine, I don't know what they're going to do with that position. He's still in year 2. Maybe it'll get better. But, he's still young. He's still young. Maybe he'll figure it out. You could argue, too, Zeitler had a rough one as well. He had back-to-back holding penalties there in the middle of the game. It wasn't his greatest performance either. But I still thought Witt played well. Andre Smith played well. Bowling did okay. But offensively, the offensive line's been fantastic. I mean, they let Andy Dalton do whatever he wanted back there. They still were able to run the ball pretty well. And, Andy Dalton never got touched, never got sacked. That's good from Andy Dalton. Absolutely. So I agree with you, Jib. Good stuff about the front 4. Glad you brought that up. Let's go to, let's see here, area code 828. Hi, who's this?
Hey, Nick, it's Kurt down Nashville, North Carolina.
What's up, Airport Kurt? How you doing, buddy?
It's going pretty good. That's another win, 4-0, 2005, 10 years ago. It's not bad.
That's right. I mean, yeah, it's been fantastic.
I agree. What do you think? Do you think it's time for people to start believing in Andy Dalton? Is it time for the haters to kind of be quiet for a little bit? Or do haters just got to hate, as Taylor Swift says?
Well, let me ask you this, because I honestly haven't seen a whole lot of Andy Dalton hate here in 2015 since the season started. I think it has quieted down quite a bit. What I can't understand, and I can't, is when I see these national pundits on these talk shows and on NFL Network, oh, he's great, but can he do it in the playoffs? Well, how about just talking about how he's doing now? I mean, why can't we just cover him and what he's doing now? Can't we worry about the playoffs later if they get there? Let's worry about what they're doing right now. That's the thing that bothers me the most about the Dalton hate. Because right now he's probably, if it wasn't for guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, he's probably your best quarterback in the NFL through the first 4 games of the season.
Agreed. I mean, you got to look at the 4-0 teams, and you got to think of elite quarterbacks. Think of Tom Brady. You think of Peyton Manning. You think of Aaron Rodgers. I know that they're working for 4-0 today. They haven't gotten it yet. But, I mean, and now you've got Cam Newton and Andy Dalton, both drafted in 2011. One of them was drafted first overall and has been mediocre through, I think, the first 4 years. He's been up and down. And you've also got Andy Dalton, who's been up and down. Probably it's more up and down rapidly, like from game to game, whereas Cam Newton's been up and down over longer periods of time. And now, are they going to start talking about him? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I kind of like it when they don't talk about us, because frankly, when no one's speaking us in for anything, is when we play our best. Like when people are like looking the other way and they're like, the Bengals are going to do what the Bengals are going to do, and they don't give us a lot of national attention. That's when we play our best. And then all of a sudden, like when everyone's like, "Oh, the Bengals are contenders. The Bengals look good." That's it's like people are like, "Hey, they're talking about us."
Yeah.
And then that's when stuff happens.
I agree with you. I like that they fly under the radar, and it's probably better for this team. Let's just quiet all the talk down and just worry about game by game. You know what I mean? I love seeing them get talked about on the national stage, because it doesn't happen very often, and for the most part, when it does, usually it's about something negative. But I'm with you. I want to see this team fly under the radar. I want them to be a quiet 4-0 when they host the Seahawks next week, and I want them to be 5-0 when they go on the road to Buffalo next week, and nobody's talking about this team, which is better. I think it's honestly better. You sneak up on these teams, because right now Rex Ryan and the Bills are probably thinking, "Oh, we've got Andy Dalton coming to town. This is a piece of cake." Well, then he's going to go out and torch you. So I would absolutely prefer that they stay under the radar.
Absolutely. Hey, have you looked at much of the injury as far as Adam Jones and Drake Kirkpatrick? I saw that both of our starting corners were both leaving the field with certain injuries. And I was like, all right, well, as long as they come back or as long as it's nothing serious. But I noticed they were both out near the end of the game due to injury.
Yeah, Adam Jones did something to his groin, and he didn't come back. Dre did something to his elbow, and I'm not sure how much he played after that, but they didn't really mention much of it on the broadcast. So you'll have to tune back in to cincyjungle.com this week for more updates, Kurt, because right now I don't got any.
I will.
Absolutely, of course.
All right, well, enjoy your Sunday. We'll put another Who Day out there, and I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.
Awesome, Kurt. Appreciate the call, bud. Who Day.
All right, Who Day.
We've got 6 phone lines open, and we'll keep the show going, Bengals fans, as long as we've got callers. This is your show. Want to hear from you. What'd you make of today's game? What do you think of what's going on with this team? They're 4-0, flying high as they get ready to host the Seahawks next week. Should be a good one next week. Looking forward to seeing the Seahawks. That'll be a really good test for this Bengals team. Will they be able to get up for the Seahawks? That would be a huge test. And if they could beat the Seahawks at home and get to 5-0, talk about a statement. That would be amazing. I would love it. Absolutely love it. If you're here in the chat, again, continue to throw out your game balls. If I miss them, I apologize. Keep sending them in. Want to make sure I shout those out and let everybody know that who you thought was the game ball winner today. Probably Cairo Santos if you're a Chiefs fan, right? 7 field goals for 21 points for him. Not a bad day for a kicker. You know I love my kickers, that's for sure. But again, we've got phone lines open, so continue to call in, Bengals fans. 513-657-2807 is the number to call. Let's look around some of the scores from around the NFL. Big day today. Obviously, things kicked off out over in the UK and London. The Jets, they get to 3-1 as they knock off the Dolphins 27-14. It sounds like Joe Philbin had a meeting after the game with management regarding his tenure as coach of the Miami Dolphins. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. The Jets win 27-14 over at Wembley Stadium. The Colts squeak one by in overtime against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 16-13. The Giants, as I mentioned earlier, 24-10 winners over the Bills. The Panthers, they're 4-0 now, 37-23 winners over the Bucks. The Redskins at home knock off the Eagles 23-20. And the Bears get in the win column. Cannot believe they get in the win column. I thought for sure Oakland was going to knock off the Bears. Well, the Bears win 22-20. They're in Chicago. The Falcons, you talk about a team flying right now, 48-21 winners over the Texans. By the way, that score, that was a 28-0 halftime lead for the Falcons. Oh, did I say 28-0? Yeah, it was 42-0 after 3 quarters. That is sick. They're playing really well right now. And of course, we all know what happened on Thursday night when the Ravens knocked off the Steelers in overtime there at Heinz Field. So that's a look at your scores from around the NFL. Again, if you want to get in touch, we'll take your calls. Actually, let's go across the pond and visit with our good friend, Mike Smith. Mike, what's happening, man? Long time no talk.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, mate? How's it going?
Well, I'm pretty happy, despite the result over in North London today with my Manchester United. But we need to talk about that.
I'll stop you there. This is a football show, not a soccer show. We've just wiped out 80% of the audience just by even going there. So I think we'll get them back and talk about our 4-0 Bengals, eh?
I just want to ask, did you go to the NFL game over there at Wembley or not?
No, not today. No, I've been to quite a few over the years, and I've just got a bit sick of the lack of any Bengals team going over there. So I've saved my money this year, and also the Bengals are on. They're on today, and getting back from there means I would it would be quite tough to get back and watch my Bengals. So I didn't go, but I have actually got a complimentary ticket for the third one, the Chiefs Lions game.
Oh, cool.
I think with the matchups that'll be okay. But I didn't really want to miss today anyway. But I tell you what, I really enjoyed today. There's been an interesting discussion about Dalton and about I think about a little bit of negativity about the defense now. They could dealt with Charles, but they were the defense were flexible, but they didn't break. But I think what I'd like to say is, even though the Chiefs, did get quite close, at some stage, of the first half, I didn't feel at any point in the game like the Bengals would actually lose this, but actually go out and actually, properly, just generally commit what in the past has been, right in their own suicide note. Really, that just didn't happen today, and at no point did I feel like that was going to happen. I think a lot of that is, a lot is experience. This team is, has grown up together. You look at the stat on that to back that up. It's like 42 of the 53 and the 53 of the roster have either been drafted, I believe, or they've come through in as a very young, say, through free agency, for not being drafted. And I think, growing up together as a unit, this team, they all know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
The experience as well. 4 years of going to the playoffs, and I think finally it's beginning to show through. But it's a long way to go. It's you win as a team and you lose as a team, and we've got another 12 games to go. So I think I'm confident, mate. I'm really confident that we'll make the playoffs this season. I think I'm confident in saying we're going to win the division. That playoff game, well, it all depends on who you get, isn't it? It depends what happens in the other divisions.
True.
And let's take one game at a time. And then I know you mentioned about flying under the radar. Well, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I just think the way we're going at the moment, because we're winning, that's not going to be very long that we are going to be the center of attention. I think that begins next weekend with Seattle coming down to Paul Brown Stadium. I need to just ask a question now, and it's it is a rip off of Fatal Content's question of the night. My question is, what is an NFL catch?
I wish I knew, Mike. I really do. I do not know. I try to wrap my head around it, and I don't know.
I think how long's the forward pass been permitted in professional football? How many years?
Yeah, quite a while.
And they still isn't a definition. You think that fundamentally important part of the game, they might have sorted that out by now.
That's the NFL for you, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll guess, passing whatever. I guess we'll never know. But I guess that's why we watch it as well.
That's true.
I guess that's why we watch the game and we love about it and we talk about it. We talk about it so much, and you do. As much as you live for watching the Bengals, when you do sort of live for those decisions, those controversial decisions as well. I think my other point I want to make is I think if the Bengals haven't already been tapping up or speaking to other kickers, then they ought to be doing. Because I'm slightly convinced that unfortunately Nuge is probably going to cost us a game one day. Not a great thing to say, admittedly. I don't ever want to see a guy lose his job, but too close to call for me. There's plenty of other kickers out there as well, and the NFL it's a results business. It's about what you can do for me now. I don't know what you think. What your thoughts on that are?
Well, I love talking about kickers, Mike. So I'll say.
I want to
this.
get you on the roster, mate. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm going to say it now. I need to get you on the. We want to get you on the roster, mate.
Well, let's hold that talk. I
want to get you sharing the room with Brandon Tate. That's what we want.
I think they had a pretty good kicker in Obarski in training camp.
Yeah.
They had a really good one in Quinn Sharp the last couple of years that It was just tough to get by Nugent. I mean, he was the seasoned vet, and Marvin loves his veterans. I don't like that he's missing easy field goals. I don't like that he's missed an extra point. And then you were the one complaining about, the NFL moving the extra point back to make you fail. I don't know. I just think that if I'm the Bengals, I'm bringing in kickers this week, and you don't have to replace Nugent right now, but I would start making preparations, because if this guy starts continue to miss kicks, you gotta fix it now while you can. And I hate saying it, because Nugent's been a really good, solid kicker for the Bengals over the last few years, but you have one job: make the kick. That's it.
Exactly. I'm not saying cut the guy right now. In fact, I actually think we should probably go in with him next week against Seattle. Don't think put it this way: putting a new kicker in against the Seahawks, that's that is too much of a baptism of fire for my liking. But work him out. I think get him worked out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally within the rules. I mean, he knows. He knows the score. But yeah. Let's keep the faith for now, but I just think we should, keep our options open. But hey, why am I complaining? We're 4-0.
I know we're nitpicking.
We're 4-0, man.
Exactly.
We've got a 2-game lead over. We've got a 2-game lead over that lot in Pittsburgh. But it's so it's great. I personally think last week's win over the Ravens, we've killed their season already. I really do, and I can't Seahawks next week. Let's see what happens. But it's all looking good, mate. I'm gonna be positive for this week. I'm gonna, positive outlook on everything, and it's awesome. You've probably seen all the tweets on at @Whoday_UK.
Yep.
I'll get my little shameless plug in there. We're all excited over here about the Bengals. We're all. It's really got. We've really got a good feeling this season, and I think let's continue that, and it's awesome. Anyway, mate, I think you've probably got I hope taking up too much of your time. You've probably got plenty of other people going to call in later.
Well, we appreciate you calling, Mike, and I'm glad to hear from you. Mate. It's been a really long time, and
it's been a while.
Glad things are going well over in the UK for you, and keep us posted on all the things going on with Whoday UK. All right, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Just I've got a little sign off for you, my own one. You'll never Whoday alone.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Mike, appreciate the call, bud.
No problem, mate.
Cheers.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. That's Mike Smith over in the UK joining us on Skype. Glad to hear from him. It's been a really long time since I've talked to Mike. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 212. Hi, who's this?
Hey, how you doing? This is Al from New York.
Hey, Al. Thanks for holding on. Appreciate the call, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I like your show very much. I've been watching this for the past year and a half.
Awesome.
And I really appreciate it. It's hard to catch anything in New York for the Bengals, let me tell you.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're a fan, and glad we're here for you, man.
Yeah, I've been a Bengals fan since '74. Kenny Anderson, Bobby Clark, Patrick Curtis days.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying Andy Dalton's play. I'm very skeptical of him, but lately he's been playing very well.
It's hard to argue with his start, right? I mean, he's had a really good start to the season here through 4 games. And, a lot of people question, the way he plays in prime time and in the postseason games. But, have you ever, and just if through these first 4 games, has there been a throw or a drop back where you thought to yourself, oh, my gosh, what was he thinking? Because off the top of my head, I can't really think of any throws where we're all thinking to ourselves, wow, and he got away with one there, or – it just seems like he's really been on point with all of his throws.
Yeah, he's been on point with his throws, and even after the 2 turnovers, he bounced back, actually. The way he bounced back is unbelievable. And I think last year, those plays would have cost that game.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I agree with you totally. The old Bengals would have crumbled in Baltimore after those 2 turnovers.
And he kept the Chiefs out of the end zone today. I'd give field goals all day.
Absolutely. You'll trade field goals for touchdowns all day.
Oh, yeah. And I'm a little worried, though, with the secondary. They seem to be banged up. I noticed that Williams was reaching for his wrist after the tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll find out more. I'm not really sure what's going on with the injury front. We'll find out more as the week progresses. But Adam Jones was out with a groin, and Dre banged up his wrist. But the good news is they've got Darqueze Dennard in there, and he got some good, valuable action today. I thought that was good for him. He needed that.
Definitely. And one game at a time for me.
Absolutely.
Seattle.
On to Seattle, right, Al?
That's right. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Hey,
show, and I'll definitely give you a call again. You have a great week.
Awesome. You too, man. Thanks for calling Houday. That's Al in New York giving us a ring. Really, really excited to hear. We've heard from Hawaii. We've heard from New York. We've heard from London. We've heard from Asheville, North Carolina. We've heard from South Beach, Miami. I mean, this is awesome. Love hearing from Bengals fans around the world. We've got some phone lines open. We'll keep it going here at Cincy Jungle. As long as we're getting the phone calls, 513-657-2807 is the number to call. I'm looking at the chat room here, and it seems like the conversation has shifted from the Bengals to the NBA. Don't know how that happened, but apparently it did. Maybe that's my cue. Maybe it's the time for me to wrap it up here at cincyjungle.com. We've been going a little, I guess it's been just about 46 minutes here. I think it's a good time to wrap up. Appreciate all the phone calls today. You're all fantastic. Love the fact that we heard from Bengals fans from around the world, literally around the world. That's so cool. It really is a lot of fun. Glad we were able to do a post-game show this week. Probably won't be able to do one next week due to some other commitments I've got, but I'll continue to update you on the Wednesday night shows when and if I can do a post-game show. The soccer season will be wrapping up here in a couple weeks, which means I'll be able to do the post-game shows more regularly throughout the rest of the season. So that'll be a lot of fun. And again, thanks to everybody who called in. If you want to get in touch with us and leave feedback, you can always leave a voicemail at our old phone number, 404-HUDAY-7. You can always email me insidethejungle@spnt.tv. Just remember, if you can't make our live show Wednesday night or our post-game shows, you can always download our audio on demand. We've got the Inside the Jungle app. Download that today at spnt.tv/apps. We could talk. Reggie says, Nick, can we talk about Geno? He's not getting any love right now. You know what, Reggie? I will remember that on Wednesday night, and I will make sure the four of us feature that big time on Wednesday night, on the Wednesday night roundtable, Reggie. You've got my word on it. Again, appreciate all the feedback. Leave us an iTunes review. Also support us on Patreon as well. If you like what we do, if you like the podcast, and you want more of it, spnt.tv/Patreon. That's the best way to help support our show. And we really do appreciate all the support you Bengals fans have given us. Speaking of the app, Keith Maurer says the app works great. Awesome. Thanks, Keith, for downloading it. Neil also says, great show, Nick. Hey, man, I don't do the show. You guys make the show. The calls make the show. I'm just here hosting it, folks. You guys are awesome. Fantastic. Bengals win 36-21. They're now 4-0 on the year, and it's on to Seattle. Remember, Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, the Wednesday night roundtable. Anthony, Scott, Mickey, and I will be breaking down today's game and looking ahead to a big matchup with the Seahawks next Sunday. Before we get out of here, got to send a special thanks to my associate producers, Andy Lanham, Larry Rolson, Mike Vardy, Fado Bayari, and Josh Schuster. Inside the Jungle is an SPNT production. For more information about our other podcasts, make sure you log on to spnt.tv. And for the latest on everything Bengals, all the injuries, all the game recaps, and more, make sure you go check out our website, cincyjungle.com. I'm Subes. We'll see you Wednesday night for the Wednesday Night Roundtable, Bengals fans. Houday, everybody.